Miss Banton now.
Hello, sorry?
Hello?
Hi.
Put you through to Miss Banton now.
Okay, thank you.
Hello?
Hello, is that Barbara Banton?
It is, yes.
And you're the manager of the Birmingham area?
The branch manager, yes.
Brilliant, okay. Are you familiar with my case at all?
No, I'm not. I'll have a look down the notes now.
Right, you should have also received a recorded mail letter.
Who did you email that to?
It was posted a recorded mail to the enforcement manager, because that's what you guys keep putting on your paperwork.
Oh, right, well...
You make it look like a signature, but really it's not. You've got nobody at your end prepared to put liability in a matter, so you just print them off.
So what's the crux of the problem?
Well, it's you guys have been employed by Birmingham Council to try and chase up a parking ticket fee.
That's
from.
Right, yes.
And you got the case notes there now, have you?
Yes, yes.
Lovely. Right, okay. Well, you see, the thing is I'm one of the guys from Response UK and Beat the Bailiffs and the Banks.
Mm-hmm.
And I know every single in and out about how you guys operate, all of the con tricks that you do to make people believe that they're real warrants, real judges, real authorities, pressurising people into thinking that they have to let you in to levy goods, clamping people's cars on their own driveway property, all these different tricks.
Mm-hmm.
But because I'm a paralegal, that means that I fully understand all of it, and I fully understand that it's a fraud. And the point of the matter is that Birmingham Council should take somebody to small claims court if they have a civil matter against them. But because there's no contract for them to actually act upon in, say, for example, a parking ticket or a bus lane contravention or whatever, and the reason there isn't is because Birmingham Council don't own the land, they manage it, paid for by the public, which means they don't have the authority to put levy onto people in the first place. Because they don't have the ability to even take things to a real court or even small claims court, they go to Northampton Bulking Centre, get a rubber-stamped administrator that's not even legally trained to give the authority, supposedly, for an Equita bailiff or whoever to come out and deal, and then out come the thugs to try and put pressure on people on their doorstep. But what I wanted to really ask you is, firstly, are you fully aware of who I am and what I do?
Are you telling me that you're Jonathan Doe?
I'm the man Jonathan Dow.
Right, okay.
It's Dow as in Dow Jones Currency, or Dow Chemical, or Dow Sport.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you know fully about who I am and what I do? Because I go out to people's homes and I wait for bailiffs and enforcement officers to turn up, and then we inspect the paperwork. And if you don't have a real warrant with a real judge's signature with the judge's name readable underneath it and a court seal with a date inside, which means it's been sealed at that time when it was seen by a judge and signed.
Can I just stop you there? Have you taken this up with our client?
Client?
Say that you feel that the warrant that we're acting on, you don't agree with. Because unless the council tell us that we shouldn't be acting on the documents that they've given us, we have to continue, you know that.
Yeah, well, you can do what you want, but you won't get anywhere with me, that's the point. The doors and windows will all remain firmly locked and shut. The gate to the garden will remain fully bolted. We've got 4 big dogs that get nasty when people come round and cause hassle. The driveway is blocked and private property owned by me, the man. And I've already said to you guys that you know already that it's totally unlawful and illegal if you try and stick a clamp onto the car on my driveway. And it will be cut off using lawful excuse using an angle grinder, which would then not become criminal activity because I would already give your bailiff all of the options to present their legal and lawful statutory instrument to me, i.e. the warrant, because we insist upon seeing the warrant, and they haven't got one. They don't even like giving that physical bit of paper to the person it's aimed at.
You've spoken to an enforcement agent now?
Oh God, I've been doing this for years.
No, have you been speaking to the...
I've spoken to James Bahrain today.
Right.
I've just had about half an hour call with him.
And he said what to you?
Well, he basically said that he was going to turn up when he turns up.
Yeah.
and that if I were to cut off a clamp on my car on my private driveway, that it would become a criminal activity, and then you would call the police and try and prosecute for damage to property. But because I'm a paralegal and I understand all of it, the idle threats don't make any difference to me, because what I would do is I would talk on video camera on my driveway to your enforcement officer, and I would say, you either show me the statutory instrument or you go from the property. And if you put a clamp onto my car on my driveway, I will use lawful excuse to cut it off with an angle grinder. And will your bosses be happy that yet another...
Right, so putting all that aside,
yeah.
What's your proposal on actually paying what the council require paid?
The council, I've spoken to them many times. I've got videos of me having arguments in the One Lancaster Circus foyer with 3 security guards and 3 receptionists, because none of their transport people would dare come downstairs. I've sent them 3 letters called conditional acceptance offers.
What does that mean?
It means that I've sent them a letter that says I conditionally... because this is all legalese, and because I'm a paralegal, this is the correct method. I conditionally accept to pay the monies allegedly owed upon receipt of proof of claim. And what I have required, and again we're using legalese here, so you need to be you need to really listen to the words I'm using. I have required of Birmingham Council to provide me with a contract that I and they have in this matter, and of course there isn't one. And because this is civil law and it's a civil claim, is it not? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not criminal law, it's civil law, which comes under corporate law and commercial law. Mm-hmm. Because it's civil law, Birmingham Council cannot get this into even a small claims court track, which is why they go to their administrative department at the Northampton Bulk Centre, which isn't even at the same address as the Northampton County Court. It's a privately run enterprise without even people being able to go there and have a hearing or a trial or a tribunal.
You had the opportunity to pay at the time of the offence, didn't you?
I can't hear what you're saying, sorry.
So you had the opportunity to pay it at the time of the offence?
No, what needs to happen by law is an opportunity needs to be given to the man or woman that is there to supposedly defend themselves. The opportunity for...
Do you feel that the ticket wasn't given to you correctly then?
What I'm saying is the council should take this to a real judge.
Yeah, but putting that aside, do you feel that the offence was committed or not?
The offence was not committed because the council don't have the authority to put levy onto people.
Well,
the council don't own the land, and if you know the real law...
You need to take that up with the council, and if you feel that the council's given us an incorrect document.
Well, if that's the case, and we're in agreement with that stage of proceeds, then...
I'm not in agreement. What I'm saying to you is we've been given the warrant to enforce. Mm. That's what the enforcement agent will do. If you've got a problem with the due process of how it got to us, that's something that you take elsewhere, not to us, isn't it?
You're the ones that are going to try and send a thug round, though, aren't you?
Because we act for the client, not for you.
Right, OK. So when your man comes to my door, what does he expect to do?
He would expect you to pay it.
And what if I don't?
Well, then, obviously, he can remove goods to the value if he so wishes, if he can find something to the value of. Right,
and how is he going to do that?
Well, that would be up to him. I couldn't...
Is he going to try and unlock the door?
No.
Is he going to try and break or climb through a window?
No.
Is he going to try and unlock the gate to the garden?
If it's locked, no.
No. Is he going to put a clamp on the car on the driveway?
Possibly if he got that far, yes.
And if he understands the real law, does he know that that would be a criminal act?
Well, the real law, as far as it stands with us, is that we've got a warrant to enforce. You're
acting lawlessly, though, because I've already checked with Northampton Magistrates Court, because Robbie at Equita in Northampton, in the call centre, and I've got him on video, he told me that it had come from the warrant was signed by a real judge from Northampton Magistrates Court, and I have phoned Northampton Magistrates Court on video, and I have categorically proven without a shadow of a doubt that the magistrates' court do not deal with this. I have then called the county court, and they have said that they do not deal with this.
Okay.
And then I've called the bulking centre.
Why don't you ring the people that sent you the documents in the first place?
Well, it's Equita that have sent me the documents.
No, the documents that came to you prior to it coming to Equita.
Oh, I've been disputing this all along.
Oh, fine. So what happened when you disputed it before us, then?
Birmingham Council have decided to do a cessation of communication with me because they know that I'm correct.
Oh, right. So if they think that you're correct, why have they sent it to us?
Because they're thugs and it's a cartel.
Right.
And we're exposing you all, and we're not taking any more of it. This is why, you see, the other thing is that you guys and the council and the bulking centre and all these private parking companies as well, what they try to do is they get people to try and get them to appeal.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know what the word appeal means in legalese?
I expect it means that you put your side of the story to it.
I can't hear you again.
I suspect it's you putting your side of the story to it.
No. Appeal in legalese means that you are begging the court, and in doing so, you are giving admittance that that the matter exists and that the matter is understood.
Right, so you haven't appealed then?
There'd be no such thing because there's no joinder given, there's no paperwork, there's no warrant.
So consequently, everything that you've done so far has hit a brick wall then?
Well, I'm waiting for your man to come round so I can make a fool out of him.
Okay, well, all right. Well, I'll put the notes on the system as to what you said to me, and...
So when's James coming then? Because it doesn't sound like he wants to come now. He knows the score.
No, I don't.
And I'm going to tell you something else, Barbara.
Mm-hmm.
What we do as part of Response UK is we're building a database because we've got people so that they get access to national insurance, deed poll, birth certificate, DVLA, and there's another one which I can't always remember the top 5 things.
Yeah.
When a man or woman who purports to be a court official, bailiff or whatever comes to somebody's door,
yeah,
we tell them that they either need to present the correct paperwork with real judges' signatures so that we can phone the courthouse that's got a real qualified magistrate or judge and verify that they are actually putting their name to this matter, and there never is one.
right.
There's nobody, and I've checked with all of them already and I've got videos of it all. Nobody's involved.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And if that person or man or woman or whatever doesn't go, then we have access to find everything out about them, and every future employer that they go to, we will boycott the business, otherwise get them sacked or terminated, with video and audio evidence of their crimes as an enforcement officer acting fraudulently. And the only way that we stop is by getting them on video to apologise for their crimes.
Okay.
Now, do you know about, have you heard of Tom Crawford?
No.
Right, Tom Crawford's a man from Nottingham who the bank have been trying to take his home off him illegally since a few years ago. Now, the banks...
What off him?
You what, sorry?
Take his what off him?
Home.
Oh, right.
Now then, what happened was they sent, the bank sent a bailiff company called House Property Solutions, who travelled all the way from Prestatyn to Nottingham to be greeted by 650 odd people, including myself, everybody armed with video cameras, and we saw them off. And while they were there, they wouldn't even admit that they were enforcement officers or bailiffs or that they even had anything to do with it, because we would have arrested them, because again, like your guys, none of you have got a real statutory instrument signed and authorised by a real judge and court. So it only took me 2 days to find out who he is, right? And I phoned him up on video, and we've busted him for his business, for the fact that he lied, and we've got all the video of him lying, for the fact that on his LinkedIn profile he had a picture of him up the London Bridge with climbing equipment on, but also in the S-Class Mercedes that he turned up at the house in Nottingham with, he had disabled on the tax disc.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been reported for tax evasion and claiming disability benefits, or using a motability car against the protocol because he came to try and chuck a bloke out of his house with it.
Mm-hmm.
And he has been ruined, basically. His credibility has dropped off the radar. He is no longer Britain's best property solutions expert team of thugs. 2 days. So what we're doing is we're finding out any bailiff or enforcement officer that gives people grief on their doorstep. We will find out everything about them, even if we need to physically remove them from the property, which then they think is criminal assault, when it's not, it's lawful excuse. But when they put their claim in against the person or the man or woman for assault, they then need to give their name, address and date of birth as part of the case notes, which then means in the long run we have access to every single bit of paper purporting to the case, which means that we then find out that man or woman's name outside of them being an enforcement agent employed or freelance to Equita or any of the other companies. And we will then follow them around because we've got people with their fingers in the pies with access to all the databases. And every time they get a new job, change their name, move to another town or city or whatever, we will find everything out about them, and we will tell their new boss that they need to lay them off, otherwise we're free to protest and boycott the business to their cost. And then it is in their best interest to say to this ex-bailiff that's now started working somewhere else, oh, I'm sorry, mate, but your being here is causing my business to fail because we've got protests and activists against me because we're employing you. And furthermore, we've got the video evidence to show that they're correct. So it does never come under, defamation of character or slander, because we protect ourselves by videoing and recording the audio to every encounter. So it's in your strong interests, really, to just pass the matter back to the council, or you can come to my property and see what happens. Because you're not going to get this one over on me. You're better off calling this one a day, because every time you guys antagonise me, more videos go up online and more people are ready at the flick of a phone call to come round, so that we've got a bigger gang of people to just stand in the way. But really, I can handle you all myself, because the doors and windows and gates all remain locked. And if clamps do get stuck on the car, then so what? It can stay there for the afternoon until I'm ready to go out there with my angle grinder and cut it off, or pick the lock with a lockpick set. So you can't claim criminal damage.
Okay, well, I'll put all the notes on the system.
Lovely. Just make sure that whichever man or woman you send round knows the full story, because they need to be prepared to have their life ruined.
No, I don't send them out, because the people in Northampton send them out. It's not at this branch. I don't know how you got this telephone number, actually, but we don't send them out from this branch.
Because I'm an investigative paralegal.
No, what I'm saying to you ring in this office, but we don't control the bailiff, so we're doing admin work, we don't do...
Oh, well, I mean, whoever it is that needs to deal with it, you know.
I'll put it in the notes for you.
Yeah, just make sure that... Because if you guys... I mean, I just spoke to James and he had no idea about any of this, but apparently it's on his workload for this week, according to the letter that's been sent out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just be aware, obviously, that as far as the enforcement agents are concerned, they're working on these day in, day out, aren't they? And we're employed to work for Birmingham City Council, and that's what they do. It's a job, isn't it?
Well, if Birmingham City Council had the real law on their side, they would take me to small claims court.
That's not down to us, is it? That's down to Birmingham City Council. They've given us a legal document as far as we're aware, as far as we're concerned, and that's what the enforcement agents are acting upon.
All right, well, I'll tell you what then. If you could notify everybody at Northampton of the situation...
I'll put it all in the notes of what you said to me. Yeah.
Oh, can you also just confirm to me that you received a recorded mail signed on delivery letter from me?
Well, I haven't got it, no, but
because it
would have been received.
Yeah, it was addressed to the enforcement manager, because that's what you... Oh, you know the other thing, you know all the letters that get posted out to people?
Yeah.
You know when they put enforcement manager where they're supposed to sign in ink?
Right.
It's basically a font from Microsoft Word called Brush Script MS. It's a nice swooshy italic font that makes people tend to think that it's a signature when it isn't, and that actually classes as mail fraud.
Yeah, well, I'll put that in the notes too.
Yeah. Lovely. Okay then, Barbara, well, I mean, do you want my telephone number?
I'll put it in the notes if you want to give it to me.
Yeah, it's 01827...
01827...
875...
875...
643. And the reason I'm giving you that is because I would appreciate if you would phone me and tell me when one of your men is supposed to be coming round.
I won't be able to do that because obviously I don't.
Okay. Well, if you could put that on the notes then for Northampton.
All right.
That's great, Barbara.
All right.
Oh, last thing to do.
Yeah.
If you can write this reference down.
Mhm.
I'll give you the phonetics. It's Delta.
Yeah.
Echo. Yeah. Romeo. Bravo.
Yeah.
Juliet. Delta.
Yeah.
And if you put that all into YouTube's search bar, you'll come up with my video channel.
Oh, I'm not allowed to go on YouTube in work, I'm afraid.
It'd be good for you to do at home.
Well, I could, but I don't really like YouTube. I think.
Well, you're going to be on there soon from this phone call, so you might want to watch it.
Okay. All right then.
Lovely, thanks, Barbara.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Wow, progress. How did you get this number? Yeah, well, come on then, guys. I'm waiting.